Hello, my wonderful Virgos. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of your love life. So it's going to be your general love reading for the week here. So pretty much whatever comes out for you guys. Okay, guys, so we have two cards here. These cards have both a trigger statement as well as a truth statement. So we have letting go and conviction. Okay, so the trigger statement on the cilantro card reads, "This is not the way it is supposed to be." Okay, and the true statement is, "I am free." Lift up your burdens and allow the divine to free you from them. Allow yourself to be cleansed of anything that is weighing you down. And then we have, "No one listens to me" as a trigger statement. True statement, "My voice is heard." Stand strong and communicate your message. The world is ready to receive what you have to share. Okay. I'm getting a strong message of possibly surrendering, okay, to a connection, letting go of something that you feel like is not in your control, okay? This could be a week where you're trying to get through to someone, or you're, trying to convey a message, but you feel like it's not being received the way that you want it to be. Or it could be, you've already had a conversation as you're watching my read, but you feel very misunderstood after a conversation instead of feeling like there's some sort of clarity or just feeling understood by the opposing party. And it's interesting because a trigger statement says, "No one listens to me," and the true statement is, "My voice is heard." So like something that you've communicated to an individual could be making sense to them in the now or in the current moment, but it may have confused them in the past, or it's something where you did not feel that your emotions or your opinion was, being taken into consideration here. And I'm also feeling with the, letting go card, like, again, there's something here that could be a very heavy energy or something that feels burdensome. And it is about you surrendering or letting that go and allowing things to unfold the way that you feel like they should. And it also reads, "Allow yourself to be cleansed of anything that is weighing you down," right? So it could be that this situation is impacting other areas of your life, or you're feeling very consumed by something where it's taking an emotional toll on you. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Temperance. Some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius, but with the Four of Swords and the Temperance, I'm feeling that this could be a week where there's some sort of healing taking place for you, that is, or healing after some form of acceptance, either accepting a situation for what it is. It could be that someone's true colors were revealed to you. And it's also about making peace with the situation, with the Temperance card here. I feel like someone that's at a distance from you, or there's some sort of, even if it's emotional distance, is thinking about you very heavily. And there's an emphasis on wanting to restore balance in a connection here. So I'm going to start off by seeing how you're being viewed this week. Okay. The Knight of Swords. There's something here that this person really wants to communicate to you. Knight of Swords can also be read as some sort of unexpected communication, or it's communication from someone that you don't expect to hear from. So either what they're saying is unexpected, or the person that it's coming from is unexpected. But I do feel like this could be some sort of like something that happens very quickly is what I'm seeing. But initially what I was getting here is someone who wants to communicate with you, and there is an urgency behind this conversation. So whether it's they have something they want to get off their chest, whether it's they have a question for you, whether it's they just feel like they are limited on time, and that could be the urgency that I'm picking up on as well. This person could also view you as making something very clear. The Knight of Swords could be a clear cut energy where you have communicated your boundaries to this person, or you've made something else clear, and this person feels like you're not going to go back on your word. We have the Four of Wands followed by the Chariot in the challenge position. Some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. What I'm seeing this person is challenged by is wanting forward movement, wanting some sort of progress in terms of reconciling with you. But because those two cards are coming up in the challenge position, there is something that is making this feel very difficult. For many of you, I feel like this person is having a hard time communicating or explaining something to you, or expressing themselves to you. There's something to do with communication. So whether it's there's quite literally blocks in communication, or this person is wanting to speak to you but they can't figure out what they want to say. And the Four of Wands and the Chariot, it's like there's an energy of wanting to reconcile, but with the Chariot, it's about accepting both sides, or two sides to, a situation or a story here. And there may be one side that this person is having a hard time understanding, or it's causing a level of confusion for them. Okay, I'm strongly getting that for, this is very specific, but it is coming up here where there could have been a disagreement, but there is also an energy of just wanting to stand by what you said. Like there may be something here that, where you and this person are disagreeing, but you're not willing to agree just to keep the peace because you feel like that's something that goes against what you believe in. So what you're wanting from this connection could be very different from what this person wants, or there's something here that's not aligning when it comes to, both of your perspectives, or what you're wanting from this connection. You're viewing this person in the Nine of Cups energy. You feel like this is someone who makes you very happy. You do feel like this is a connection where you're feeling very content, but this could be a week where you're, turning inward, or there's more of a self-focused energy. You may be asking yourself things like, what is it that makes me happy? What is it that makes me unhappy? Or what am I no longer willing to tolerate? There's something about putting yourself first in the decisions that you're making. Now, with the Nine of Cups, that could also be you questioning this person's intentions, right? If you're viewing them in the Nine of Cups, you may feel like this person is looking out for themselves, or has looked out for themselves in the past, where that you don't feel like they were taking your emotions or your perspective into consideration here. There's a strong energy of you feeling misunderstood, or feeling like you're communicating something, you're speaking to this person, but you don't necessarily feel heard by them. Even if they are listening to you, right? Maybe you feel like what you're saying isn't being taken into consideration, and they're doing nothing about the things that you're saying or the emotions that you're feeling. So this could be a week where you feel very alone, right? Or just, if it's not about feeling alone, it's just feeling very, very misunderstood. So we have the Two of Swords in your feelings, and the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a very self-focused energy. You could be working on yourself, on your stability. There could be something pertaining to your finances or your living situation that is changing for you this week. And the Two of Swords being the first card in your feelings, I mean, there's a lack of clarity here, A, when it comes to this situation, and B, the Two of Swords is having a hard time seeing how something could be different because it's always progressed in the same manner. It's not to say that it's impossible to figure out a new approach, or, it's not to say that there's absolutely no way to do something in another manner, but what's going on for you mentally is there is something that feels very repetitive here, and you're having a hard time seeing how you and this person are going to interact with each other differently, or just how is this conversation or even connection going to take a different turn if you guys continue doing the same things here. With the Two of Swords, you may even notice a pattern in this person's behavior where it's like, okay, we always end up at square one, or this is how this person always responds. So I'm having a hard time seeing what's going to be different this time around. So many of you could be shifting the focus, or shifting the focus to yourself, or turning inward. Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. This could be you manifesting something new for yourself, but the Three of Swords lets me know that you're still, you've endured a great deal of pain and you're still healing. You're in the process of healing. It could be that this week you're feeling very torn. You may have a couple of things you want to discuss with this person, but a part of you just wants to leave it alone or move forward. I also feel like there's like a very big opportunity coming in for you in terms of your stability, right? And I did mention that a minute ago, but we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it could be it's a great week for you financially, or there's an opportunity that's coming in for you that you've been waiting on and you're happy about it. But there's something about this connection that is causing you to feel a bit torn, or it's you're trying to focus on what is making you happy and maybe not focus so much on heartbreak or something that makes you feel torn when it comes to the situation here. For others of you, with the Three of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, you may view this connection as a missed opportunity, or you may feel like someone did not act on a chance or an opportunity that they had when it was in front of them. So you could be revisiting the past with this person, and there could be something here that's very clear to you in terms of, okay, well, I could have said this then, or this person could have done this then. Like there's something that could have been handled differently. So when you think back to it, it could raise a bit of sorrow, or it's causing you to feel a bit anxious here. Okay, so the Justice card is clarifying the Four of Wands. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is definitely someone who wants to have a turn of events, a positive turn of events. With the Justice card and the Four of Wands, that's doing something the right way or making something up to you. What I see here with the Justice and the Four of Wands is some of you could have actually been in a higher level of commitment with this person. Those two cards could represent marriage. That's not going to be the case for all of you. But if it's not to do with a higher level of commitment, it could just be someone that, again, you just have a commitment to, and it is, someone that you have a lot of history with. Now, this is someone who wants to move forward or from your differences, or at least discuss them so you guys could put them to rest. But there is a strong energy of, wanting to be truthful or bring something to the forefront with the Justice card. This may even be something that you already know, or some of you have a gut feeling about what this person wants to discuss with you. But I think that this is someone who wants you to hear it from them. The Wheel of Fortune is clarifying the Chariot. So yes, this does touch on forward movement, but the Wheel of Fortune also touches on feeling like you're at, a fork in the road. So this person could feel they're in between worlds, or there's a really important decision for them to make in terms of which direction they want to, go in, right? So whether it be reconnecting with you, but they have to leave something behind, or maybe it's reconnecting with you, but having to leave an old pattern behind, right? Because I do see that something feels repetitive here, and you feel like if that continues, then it's going to be hard to build something, at least build something stable from that point on. Okay, so I do see this person is acknowledging what needs to change, but I feel like they're in between worlds, or there's like two different, or there's a decision that they're, in the process of making here. Something could have been the same, or something could have felt stuck between the both of you for quite some time here, because the Wheel of Fortune is associated with the fixed energy. I could also just be picking up on someone who has like a specific way that they've wanted to do things, or they've been attached to a specific outcome, and there could be something here that's causing them or resulting in them being more open-minded, or understanding that even if what they want is something they can have, it may not be coming in the way that they want it to. So, said all that to say, there could be a sense of control that this person is releasing as well. And keep in mind, these cards are coming up in the challenge position, so I do feel like doing the right thing or coming clean about something is taking everything in this person to do that. It is taking everything in this person to do that, but I feel like they're still going to follow through because they're wanting to turn over a new leaf here. They're really wanting to leave behind disagreements or differences. So in their feelings, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is this person wanting to invest in this connection. This could also be like a kind gesture, someone where you're seeing like an increase in their effort. And we have the Fool card. So this is symbolic for a new beginning, someone who's taking a leap of faith towards you, not really sure what the future holds, but just knowing that they want the future to be different from what you guys have endured in the past here. We have the Two of Pentacles, and it's interesting that the Two of Pentacles is coming out in their feelings, because with the Wheel of Fortune, I was saying there's two different things, or, two different, or they could be, juggling, or there's just a decision that they're making between two different paths or routes here. So it's interesting that the Two of Pentacles is coming up in their feelings with the Judgment. So this decision is going to change everything, the trajectory of this bond, the current dynamic here. So even if it was someone who was indecisive, or, generic example, if this connection was stagnant for a very long time, I see this person coming to a decision which is helping the both of you move forward. And more importantly, it's just seeing an increase in their effort, and there's movement or progress in this connection after a period of stagnancy. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. I'm also strongly getting here, guys, like the Judgment in some cases could be divine intervention, right? So with the Two of Pentacles, it is an energy of juggling or deciding between two things, whether it be, a job situation that's in the way, or a living situation, or just another situation or relationship. It does talk about juggling, although you can only juggle for so long. And because it's coming out alongside with the Judgment card, it could be an energy, if you are stalling to make a decision will be made for you, kind of thing, right? Because with the Judgment, it does talk about, divine stepping in, or a decision being made for you because you're stalling, and it's creating some sort of a block, right? And it's something you usually can't avoid. So not in like, a dramatic way, but it is a realization that this person is coming to, or it is something that they have been running from or suppressing, but it's now hitting them full throttle. So we have the Knight of Cups, followed by the Death card, Scorpion energy, and the potential outcome. You're definitely receiving some sort of clarity. For some of you, it's actually closure, where you're able to, put the past to rest, or you're able to move past something that was, very hurtful here with the Three of Swords, right? So Knight of Cups could be an apology. It could just be closure, some sort of clarity you're gaining from this person. But the Death card, even if it is in order to have a new beginning, the Death card is symbolic for closing out a chapter or letting something go. So for many of you, it could be the pattern that I touched on, or something that feels very repetitive that's coming to an end here, right? Even if you feel like it's been a very repetitive cycle that you and this person have been going through, and you've been feeling very drained, I do see that coming to an end. The Knight of Cups is being clarified by the Four of Cups, and the Death card, the Six of Wands. So this is rising above a situation, which is also leading to victory. There's something about things working out much better than you anticipated them to. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a new beginning in a connection, or reconnecting with this person. It could be gaining the clarity that you've needed, and that clarity aiding you in moving forward, or focusing on yourself, or your own success here with the Six of Wands. With the Four of Cups, there's something here that you're going to grow impatient with, or something that is not that you're not going to be satisfied with entirely. Even if it is making you happy in the current moment, you may find that you're no longer resonating with this connection, or there's something here that is just not sitting with you, or sitting with you well, or causing you to feel uneasy. Because Four of Cups is when you're not happy in the current dynamic, right? So there could be a little bit of dwelling in the past and that sort of thing, but there's also a question of, is this something I still want? Is this something that I still want to invest in? The Strength card. Yeah. I feel like there are very intense connection, or this is a very intense connection, but there's also very intense emotions involved on this person's end. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but I'm strongly getting someone who is, wanting to, or they're making a decision, a firm decision at that. They are communicating with you, but with the Strength card, there may be something in you that is telling you that this person is still a bit held back. And as much as the Strength card could be a bit of a withdrawn energy, it actually touches on very deep and intense emotions, but there's some sort of an urge that you're trying to block or fight. So this may be someone who's opening up to you, but to an extent, or there's something here that they're not sharing. But what I'm getting is, there's this question of, does this still make me happy? Is this something that I'm still, interested in? I feel like you're going to receive the clarity, right? But for some of you, the clarity is actually closure, right? It's like, okay, well, it's good that I know that now, but I'm not wanting to invest in this, or I'm wanting to move forward here. And bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. So you're moving towards stability, but when it comes to the potential outcome, you're really going to be asking yourself, is this something where I can see the bigger picture? Is there a long-term, plan here? And what's interesting is the Two of Swords in your feelings. And the Two of Swords could touch on having a difficult time seeing how things could be done differently, or having a difficult time seeing the bigger picture. So I do see this person coming around, but I feel like there may be, a decision here where you're like, okay, I need to be honest with myself. And with the Four of Cups, it's almost like something here that even if it used to make you happy, it no longer does, right? So whether it doesn't make you happy, or you no longer resonate with it, or you're wanting something more or something different. So let's see what this person wants to communicate. It says, I left you before you could leave me. So maybe you feel like there's a lack of clarity here because this person, it could have been a case of ghosting, or they left without an explanation. That could be the reason why you feel very conflicted or torn. You may feel like if this person can do it once, they will do it again. Some of you may feel like there's some sort of insecurities that resurfaced for this person as they were connecting with you. So it could also be a case of self-sabotage. I know I messed up everything. So there's definitely a level of guilt that this person feels, right? And they're in the process of making, a decision here and wanting to move forward. What's interesting is we have the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles in their feelings, which is not only, juggling, they are aware that there was some sort of neglect in this connection in the past, or they were giving to more than one situation. Even if it means, it doesn't necessarily have to be another relationship, but for example, if it was work that was in the way, they feel like they breadcrumbed you in a way where they weren't giving to this connection as much as they were receiving from it, or they feel like they weren't there for you as much as they wanted to be. Something feels unfair about their treatment is what I'm sensing. So let's see. Anything else they want to communicate? I want to feel that way again. So the way that you make this person feel could be something that they haven't experienced before. It could also be someone who's feeling very nostalgic, right? Revisiting memories, or just being reminded of the positive memories and wanting to kind of feel that way again. And then it says, I will wait for a sign from you. So for some of you with the Four of Cups there in the potential outcome, maybe you are growing impatient, or you feel this person is waiting for some sort of a sign from you. But I do feel like if a waiting game continues, there may be an energy here who is losing interest or choosing to kind of detach from the situation. If it's not about losing interest, it could be, what, this waiting game has been, ongoing. I don't know if I'm going to see the changes, and I don't want to feel consumed by it. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.